Koh Samui. After 3 months of living on the island of Koh Samui, what are my thoughts from a living there as a nomad perspective? So if you haven't already, check out my Koh Samui videos where I show you guys the best restaurants, places to work at, and so on. Koh Samui is absolutely incredible and a very beautiful island, and there's so much to love about that island. Something that I'll never forget is when we first arrived to the island and just like walking out onto the beach and how beautiful and incredible it was, and just thinking like, wow, this is one of the most beautiful places I have seen in my life. Even compared to all the places we've recently been to, just that whole island look is just so incredible on Koh Samui. I will say that it was really nice to have like the beach is really quiet, and there were like waves of tourism here and there, but generally overall it was really quiet. I absolutely loved the area that we lived in. We lived in this local house, and it was truly incredible with just like being right across the street from the beach. Though our house had a lot of like issues and wasn't the most comfortable house to be in, it was a great price and we couldn't beat the location. Like, we were right next to the gym, right across from the beach. We were in more of a local area, which I love, so it felt like we were more integrated, like we were close with all of our local neighbors. And I liked being away from like the craziness of it. In my opinion, overall, I feel like Koh Samui is very set up to be for like short-term vacationers. It's really a lot about partying and restaurants and drinking and beachside little places and stuff like that. I don't feel like it's fully set up for like a nomad community at this time, which obviously like everywhere doesn't need to be a place set up for nomads. One thing that I will say about Koh Samui is that a lot of places have gone out of business. I mean, even the place we were living in on the corner was our favorite little coffee shop, and he went out of business, and there were so many places that we would drive by and like a week later they would be completely out of business. So I think that the lack of vacationing tourism really hurt the island. Compared to when I lived on Madeira Island, I saw how much a nomad community really helped Madeira thrive and built up the economy there. So I think that having that nomad community would have helped, and also would still help Koh Samui a lot. I do think there are a lot of people that are trying to create change there and really start more of a community. It's starting to happen there, but I think it has a long way to go. I personally didn't feel like Koh Samui is a place that I could feel grounded in, and also feel like it's a place I want to live for longer than the 3 months that we were there. It was the first time leaving a place after 3 months and like not feeling sad about leaving, and really just feeling like I'm ready to close this chapter and I've seen this island. I will say overall there are some really great cafes, really great restaurants, but just depending on the person you are, what you're looking for long term, if this is a place that you're thinking of, you might get a little bit of island fever. I did live on an island in Hawaii for years and I never got island fever, but I did feel that somehow in Koh Samui. But it really is a quick ferry ride to Koh Tao or to Koh Phangan. So, and they have an airport, so you can easily fly to mainland Thailand or do what we did and do the ferry bus. Hardest thing about Koh Samui is that there were a lot of rainy days, and which was really weird because they said that it pretty much wasn't rainy season at all, but there were so many rainy days, so it was really hard to consistently kind of like go out and do things, especially our last few weeks there. Our last few weeks on Koh Samui, it rained every single day, and we wanted to do all these things last minute, and every time we would drive somewhere it would just like downpour rain. So yeah, the weather really just wasn't on our side. I would say our funnest days, and I would highly recommend, is just hopping on the bike and kind of just picking a direction to go and just driving and seeing what you discover. I've mentioned this in other videos, but those were always the best days. The drives were always just epic. I mean, so gorgeous, especially when you would go to the more of the middle of the island or up in the hills. It was just so beautiful, so lush and so green. And I mentioned this in another video too, the more remote areas were just incredible. One of the most amazing experiences was going to this ethical elephant sanctuary where they were all saved elephants, and we got to bathe them, and it was the most incredible experience. Nico surprised me for my birthday, and it was so amazing. I was actually in awe. Like, I was in so much awe of this, and it was amazing just to hear like the elephant story and just how they're treated in Thailand. Like, please make sure that you go to an ethical place if you do this. Overall, I am so grateful to have spent 3 months on this incredible, beautiful island. It is truly one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. I highly recommend, if you have time, to go to Anthong National Park as well. The beauty, the islands, absolutely incredible. The whole way there, I was just in awe. It did remind me a little bit of Ha Long Bay in Vietnam, but this has its own charm and beauty. Look at this view. Oh my gosh, I was just in absolute awe. I hope you guys enjoyed this Koh Samui video, and anything that you still have questions on, feel free to ask me. And if you haven't already, check out all my travel guides and my ultimate Koh Samui guide in the description. Thanks.